Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Quick Tip. I'm Chris, and I'm here with Mike. And today we'll be talking about the triggers in the Ergosoft Hotfolder. So, a Hotfolder trigger will tell the RIP when to do the next part of the process. So, if you're unfamiliar with what a Hotfolder does, you drag images or an entire file folder into the Hotfolder module, and it applies all your presets, print environment, printer, and you're printing. So a lot of questions arise about how can I control when the RIP starts ripping, or when the printer starts printing, or when the Hotfolder starts processing. So Mike, walk us through what options are available in Ergosoft to help everyone manage their workflow specifically for their process.
No problem. As you can see here, I have the Hotfolder open on the left and the settings are on the right here. If you go into your Hotfolder settings under Job, this is where you'll find all of your triggers listed. So one by one, we're going to go through these. You mentioned dragging a folder onto the Hotfolder. That's the first trigger here. Print folder dropped on the window as one job. So when you drop a folder onto the Hotfolder window, it will process all of the images in that folder as one job. So if you have your orders split up by folder, you can drag each folder individually and you'll have each folder separated into its own job. So that's one option. But in addition to all of that, you have these 4 triggers down here. The first one allows you to print all of your images at a certain time of the day. Let's say every day at 2, maybe people are coming back from lunch and you want to make sure something is ripping and ready for them to print. You can trigger it at 2 or 1, and then that job will automatically send, no matter how many images are in there, it will send it over to print. Second trigger is the length. You can have it set to a certain length. So when the job exceeds 100 inches or 500 inches or whatever you want, then it will send that as one job and it'll start processing the images for a new job. The third option is minutes after the first image. So let's say you have images coming in from all different sources all throughout the morning, and you want your job to print every hour. So you can put in here 60 minutes so that when images come into the Hotfolder, it will start processing all of those images into a job. And then after an hour, it will process that job. And then it'll start the next job. After an hour, it will send that job, and so on and so on. That might be a little bit much because sometimes if your images are larger, you might have a massive print and then the next one might be tiny. So that might work for you or it might not. But the fourth option here is when the number of images is reached. So if you have most of your images maybe are a certain size and you know that you want there to be 100 images in each job, you could put 100 images. So then after 100, it will create the job and send it to RIP, and then it will start a new one. And then after 100, it'll send it to RIP and so on. You can actually use these in conjunction with each other as well. As you can see, you can have more than one selected. So if you wanted to do every day at 2, or after 100 images, or after 500 inches, you can have all of those triggers in there selected, and they'll all be honored for your jobs. You also still have the normal print options available down here on the bottom. Suspend RIP, suspend print. Like I was saying, let's say you're processing jobs while people are at lunch. Maybe you don't want the job to print automatically, but you want it to RIP. So you could suspend printing. And then if there's 5 jobs that come in while everybody's at lunch, they'll all be waiting there suspended, ready to print, but they won't automatically start.
Excellent. Very
Yep.
helpful, Mike. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching, everyone. Please contact us if you have any questions.